Welcome to our channel. In this video, we should discuss the basic concepts on trial balance. So let's begin. Trial balance means it is simply a statement which is prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy of books of account. Generally, it can be prepared at any date, but the preparation of trial balance on the closing of the accounting year is compulsory. So, it is prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy of books of account. Generally, we come across two types of accuracy. That is, first one is our arithmetical accuracy, and second one is accounting accuracy. Here arithmetical accuracy means the transactions are correctly recorded in books of account, and second one is our ledger accounts are correctly balanced. Whereas accounting accuracy means all the rules, regulations, concepts and conventions of accounting are strictly followed and implemented. So let's repeat again. Generally, we come across two types of accuracy in our books of account. That is, one is our arithmetical accuracy and second one is accounting accuracy. Arithmetical accuracy ensures that all the transactions are correctly recorded in the books of account and the ledger accounts are correctly balanced. Whereas accounting accuracy ensures that all the rules and regulations or concepts and conventions of accounting are strictly followed or implemented by an accountant at the time of recording various transactions or preparing ledger accounts in the books of account. So, our trial balance only ensures the arithmetical accuracy of the books of account, but not the accounting accuracy. So let's repeat again. Trial balance means a statement which is prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy of books of account. Here the arithmetical accuracy means after preparing trial balance, one can easily check that whether the transactions are properly recorded in the books of account or not, and at the same time it also can check whether all the ledger accounts are correctly balanced or not. So by preparing trial balance, we can check arithmetical accuracy easily, but the accounting accuracy cannot be checked by preparing our trial balance. So now come to the specimen of our trial balance. Generally, it has 5 columns. First column is known as our serial number, where we should record the serial number of ledger account, and in case of second column, that is particulars column, we should record the name of the ledger account, and in LF column we should record the page number of the ledger account, and in fourth column we should record debit amount, and fifth column we should record credit amount. If the total of debit column and total of credit column are same, that means our transactions are properly recorded in the books of account, and ledger accounts are also correctly balanced. That indicates there is no error or mistakes is committed during the recording and posting of the transactions. If the total of the debit column and credit column do not tally, that means some error is committed during the recording and posting of our transactions in the ledger accounts. So now come to the features of our trial balance. Are it is just a statement, and second feature is it is prepared to check arithmetical accuracy, and then third feature is it can be prepared at any date, but the preparation of trial balance on the closing of the accounting year is compulsory. Then our next feature is it provides basis for final account. Generally it is considered as a connecting link between our ledger account and final account. That means trial balance is prepared from the ledger account, and from where we can prepare final account. So trial balance is considered as a link between ledger and our final account. So now come to the next feature, that is it is a record of ledger balances. Then our next feature is it is a prima facie evidence. Then the last but not the least feature is it is not a conclusive proof of accounting accuracy. So let's repeat again the various features of our trial balance is it is just a statement, and generally it is prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy of the books of account, and it can be prepared at any date, and it provides a basis for preparing our final account. So it is considered as a connecting link between ledger and final account. It is a record of ledger balances, and it is considered as the prima facie evidence. And the last but not the least feature of our trial balance is it is not a conclusive proof. That means it is not the final proof of our accounting accuracy. It is only a proof of the arithmetical accuracy but not the accounting accuracy. So now come to the objective of preparing trial balance. So various objectives of our trial balance is to check arithmetical accuracy of books of account, and then second objective is to know balance of various account. Then the next objective is to help in preparing final account. Then the next objective of our trial balance is to serve as a proof of recording of all transactions. The next objective is to help in comparison and draw conclusion. So let's repeat again. The various objective of trial balance is to check the arithmetical accuracy of the books of account. That means to check whether the transactions are properly recorded in the books of account or not, and at the same time it also helps to check whether our ledger accounts are properly balanced or not. The next objective is to know the balance of any accounts at a glance. That means the trial balance enables us to know the balance of any ledger accounts at a glance. It also helps to preparing the final account. That means the trial balance provides a basis for preparing our final accounts. That's why trial balance is considered as a connecting link between our ledger and final account. Then the next objective is it serves as a proof of recording of all the transactions in the books of accounts. And the last but not the least objective of the trial balance is it helps in the comparison and draw conclusion regarding our various accounts. So now come to the various limitations of our trial balance. So various limitations of trial balance are: it is not ensure accounting accuracy. Then the second limitation is it is not a conclusive proof of accuracy or accounting accuracy. Then the third limitation is it is only prepared under double entry system, which is not prepared in case of single entry system, then the next limitation is it is very expensive to maintain. So these are the limitations of our trial balance. So let's repeat again. The first limitation of the trial balance is it is not ensure accounting accuracy, and the second one is it is not the conclusive proof of accounting accuracy, and the third limitation is it is only prepared under double entry system, and the last but not the least limitation of the trial balance is it is very expensive to maintain. So these are the limitations of our trial balance. So now come to the different methods of preparing our trial balance. So the various methods of preparing trial balance are broadly divided into three types. First one is our balanced method, and second one is total method, and third one is balance cum total method. So let's discuss one by one. First, come to our balanced method, the method in which we should consider the balances of each ledger account. That means whether a ledger account shows debit balance or credit balance. That means we should consider the balances of each ledger account for preparing our trial balance. That is called balance method. So in simple means, the balance method means the method in which we should consider the balances of each ledger account for preparing a trial balance is called balance method. Generally it has two columns, one is the debit column and credit column. So the ledger account showing a debit balance we should record in the debit column, whereas the ledger account showing a credit balance we should record in the credit column. So now come to our total method, the method in which we should consider the total of each ledger account for preparing trial balance. That means the debit total of each ledger account should be recorded in the debit column, and the credit total of each ledger account should be recorded in the credit column. So the total method means the method in which we should consider the debit total and credit total of each and every ledger account for preparing a trial balance. That is called our total method. It also has two columns, that is debit column and credit column. Now come to our third method, that is balance cum total method. That means the method where we should consider both the balances of each ledger account and total of each ledger account for preparing our trial balance, that is called balance cum total method. Generally, it is the outcome of, or it is the combination of two methods, that is balance method and total method. So it has 4 columns, that is 2 debit columns and 2 credit columns, where we should record the balances of each ledger account, as well as we should record the debit total and credit total of each ledger account. So it is called balance cum total method. It is otherwise known as compound method. So these are all about our trial balance. So repeatedly watch this video to clear all your doubts on trial balance and share it with your friends. Thank you.